Hey everyone, Kevin here. In this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how to get your stimulus check in the fastest possible way. Look, I'm not a CPA, I'm not an accountant, I can't give you tax advice. If you need tax advice, call up a CPA. But I can break this process down for you to make it as simple as possible. We'll go through a few different scenarios, so let's get right into it. I wanna help you out, get this stimulus money. Even though I'm confident that 95% of you already know exactly how much you're gonna be getting from the stimulus check, let me give you a very, very quick primer, and then we're gonna get into the fast part. Here's your quick primer. Up to $1,200 for individuals, up to $2,400 for married couples, add $500 per child that you had in your 2018 or 19 tax year. If you had a kid in 2020, you should get that money in the future, but that's still a little unclear. Maybe when you file your 2020 taxes, you'll be able to get that baby's credit as well. But for now, kids that you filed on your 2018 or 2019 tax returns are gonna get you your $500. Now, if you make over $75,000 as an individual or over $150,000 as a couple, you end up hitting something fancy called a phase out. A phase out is just a complicated accounting term that says the amount of money you're getting goes down a little bit for every extra bit of money you make. So don't worry, if you make $75,100, you don't lose the credit. You just end up getting $5 less of a credit. So instead of getting $1,200, you're getting $1,195. You're still making money off the extra money you made. It's okay. You don't have to go back and try to reduce your income. To make this ridiculously easy though, you can go to the link below and use this calculator. It's not my calculator, it's just one I'm linking. Have you filed your 2019 taxes? Yes. Filing status? Well, I'm married. How many kids? I got 2 kids, and let's say my adjusted gross income was, I don't know, $145,000. Oh, sweet, I get $3,400. Now, you'll see if I go to $151,000, I actually lost about $50 there. And so you can play with this calculator and see how much it phases out. Here you can actually see if you're a head of household, the phase outs are a little bit different. So again, rather than you try to be an expert on exactly what's going on here, I recommend you just go use a calculator like this and figure it out yourself, so that way you could see exactly what variety of money you're getting based on your income. Okay, primer over. Now, how do you get the money in the absolute fastest possible way? Well, the fastest way to get the money is by filing your 2019 tax return. If you've already filed your 2019 tax return, what I want you to do right now, don't wait. You want to get in line early. Right now, get your tax return. That is, if you filed it with H&R Block or TurboTax, or you had an accountant do it, I don't care who has your tax return, find a copy of that tax return. Now, what you want to do is you want to scroll to a page that's called the IRS Form 1040. This is exactly what that form looks like. Just a heads up, sometimes CPAs or the softwares, they put a bunch of cover pages on top of this, so you might actually have to go digging for the 1040 in your tax return. Just look at the top left. All the forms are usually numbered at the top left, so it makes it really easy to find them as you're kind of paging through. What you want to do is first make sure that your home address right here is accurate. Then scroll down here to the second page. This is above where you sign, and you're gonna see this section here called Refund. This section is where ideally, if you've already filed your tax return, you have filled out your routing number and account number. If you've already filed your 2019 tax return and you see that your routing number and account number is accurate and you've signed your return, you should be getting that direct deposit within the next few weeks. You're gonna be the first ones processed. 2019 tax return, first one processed. You've got a bank account routing number for a 2019 tax return, also the first one processed. Which, if you like being first at things, also make sure you hit those links down below. Use that special coupon code for making money from home using my real estate investing course, my do-it-yourself property management course, my course on psychology and money and sales. You can also use that link down below to deposit $100 with the stock trading platform Webull and earn 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400. All right, so now you've got your 2019 tax returns, and you look at your tax returns and you go, crap, I didn't fill out the routing number and account number because I didn't want people to have my banking info, which, just FYI, anytime you give somebody a check, you're giving them your bank account number and routing number. And I don't know if it's the biggest secret. I mean, I'm not suggesting you put it out on the internet, but a lot of people got your bank account number and routing number. Anyway, it's blank, and you're like, dang it, I want to get my tax refund in the fastest way possible. Well, you have to call the IRS hotline to have them add this banking information. Unfortunately, that means you're probably going to be on hold for quite a while. Here's how to contact the IRS hotline. And you can Google this number to fact check me just to make sure I'm giving you the correct number. But it says that for individuals, you want to call 1-800-829-1040. which is kind of cute because that's like the form number, 1040, IRS 1040. Anyway, 800-829-1040. They're open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. local time. And if you happen to be in Alaska or Hawaii, they go by 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. in California time, Pacific Standard Time. When you call the IRS, make sure you have your social and your joint filer's social security number handy. You might not know your spouse's social, so have it handy and have it ready to go. So that way, when you're on hold, you're prepared and you can actually get through this process fast. Now, let's say you left this bank and routing information blank and you call them to add it and you're a joint filer. Really, really important that if you are a joint filer and you want to give them the routing number and account number, you're giving them the routing and account number for a bank where you're both on the account. For example, Lauren and I are married. And if I call in the IRS and say, hey, I really want my stimulus check deposited into my checking account, here's my bank account number and my routing number, and they try to send the money, and it comes back to the IRS as saying, well, this is only Kevin's account, which means Lauren's money isn't going to Lauren. That deposit is gonna get rejected and you're setting yourself up for a nightmare. So make sure that if you are filing jointly, you're both on the account that you're giving to the IRS. Now, what if you don't have a bank account and you don't wanna leave the house because you're afraid because, well, you don't wanna go outside or you can't go outside right now? Here's something that you can do to solve this for both of you. Go to the beautiful affiliate link down below and open an account with M1 Finance. It's completely free to open an online bank account, a checking account with them so you could actually get direct deposit. You could also order a debit card completely for free. It is also an investing platform, but don't worry, that's totally a topic for a different video. Here's the cool thing though. If you open an M1 Finance account, look how easy it is to get your bank account routing number and how fast you get it. Shortly after I opened my M1 Finance account, I transferred money over to them so you can see this is my actual bank account. This is how much money I have with them. Now my money is over at the investment side, so if I click on over here at the spend button, you'll see my total balance in their checking account is 0. But check out something that's really cool. When I click on spend again, this little tab opens up on the side and you'll see it says transactions, debit card, direct deposit. That's what we want. And look what happens when I click direct deposit. Boom! I get a routing number and account number right here. So let's now say you and your spouse made individual accounts, or you both have individual accounts. You didn't make a joint account for whatever reason, or you each quickly slapped together an M1 Finance account because you want to process this like today. You don't want to wait. I get it. I'm super impatient too. No problem at all. If you have not yet filed your tax returns, you could pop open your taxes and you can attach something called the IRS Form 888, and that is actually going to allow you to deposit money into multiple different accounts. This is what the form looks like: allocation of refund. Ignore the whole part about saving bond purchases. That's really only if you need the saving bonds purchases crap, so just ignore that. What you really do is you just fill out the information up here. Checking account 1, checking account 2, half goes to my spouse, half goes to the other person. Perfect, simple, easy. You can put both of your social security numbers up here and both of your names right over here. Obviously, if you've already filed your tax return and you just want to update that banking information, call the IRS at that number again. It's 1-800-829-1040. Call them up and add your 2 bank accounts or joint account. Perfect. Now you're gonna get your stimulus check in the fastest way possible. You filed your 2019 tax returns and you've given them the electronic deposit information. If you do not want to give them your banking information, just make sure that the address you gave them is accurate. Now, what if you have not yet filed your 2019 tax return? Well, the next fastest way is to file your 2019 tax return. If you make less than $69,000, realize you could file your tax return right now completely for free. If you make more than $69,000, you could probably also file your tax return right now, but they'll probably charge you a little bit of money. Let's try it together. So let's just type in IRS file tax return for free. Perfect, IRS file free. Let's see, income $69,000 and below. All right, sounds good. Let's go ahead and click that. File free online lookup tool. Well, they make that pretty easy. Enter my age. All right, well, I was 27 last year. Adjusted gross income, let's just go ahead and say it was $50,000. California does have a California tax return, so that's gonna complicate things a little bit. No military, and yep, we'll go ahead and file the California one as well. Submit. Okay, cool. So here you have a bunch of options to file your federal and state tax return or federal only. It looks like if you're federal only, you could use a lot of these like free 1040 tax return or easytaxreturn.com. There you go, free federal tax return. And for 20 bucks, they'll file your state too. Now let's say I wanted to file my federal and state with H&R Block, which is also the website that I could use if I made more than $69,000, which means I'd probably have to do a more elaborate return. So in that case, I could go over here. Let's go ahead and just start now. Let's see what happens. All right, 2019 tax return. I made a username and password. I didn't show you that part, but I think y'all know how to make a username and password. Start. Never filed taxes before. I've used another company before. Welcome to H&R Block. All right, perfect. So what is this? Start by uploading your last year's tax return. I don't want to do that right now, so we'll skip that. All right, let's get acquainted. Fill out my info. Someone else to claim. I'm gonna hit no right now because that's just gonna be children and I don't wanna do that right now. Now this part is just to show you that if you're an employee, it's really easy. You just read the numbers off your W-2. So in this case, I went into the free H&R Block tool to file my tax return jointly, and within 5 minutes, I've put in that my salary was $75,000 and I had 0 taxes withheld, and they're already letting me know, okay, so far it looks like you owe about $5,600 in taxes. There you go. This is really cool. I'm not trying to like sponsor H&R Block here. I kind of wish I was, because this is really easy. If you own a place, have income or vehicle taxes or things, other deductions that you can put in here. Look at this. You can fill out your deductions, finished adding deductions. Cool. I'm really just trying to see how quickly I can file my tax return if I have the easiest tax return possible and how much it's going to cost me. All right. Know your adjustments. Looks like I get a standard deduction of $24,000. Perfect. I'll take that. Okay, good. So since your adjusted gross income is over $75,000, you don't qualify for free file. You can finish your taxes right now for $70, or for $40, you can also file your state. I mean, that's not bad. For $110, I could get my taxes filed now pretty quickly if I make over $69,000, and then I'll get my stimulus check. So I would do this ASAP. The sooner you file your 2019 taxes, especially if you have an easy return, the sooner you're gonna get that money. And I don't know about you, but I want my money now. I'm gonna go buy some stonks. Okay, so now we have a quick primer as to how much money we're expecting to get and how quickly and easy it is now to file your 2019 tax returns. Now, filing your tax returns is easy until you start having crazy things like S corporations or real estate, which if you do not yet own real estate, I highly recommend you learn everything there is to learn about real estate in my courses linked below so that you can learn how to build massive wealth by owning rental real estate and taking that sweet cash flow home. It's kind of like getting a stimulus check every month from somebody else. Now, what if you don't want to file your 2019 tax return yet because you're taking advantage of that extension and you don't even want to think about filing your tax return right now? That's fine. Then the IRS is going to use your 2018 tax return, which for some of us, like me, that actually means I'm going to qualify for the stimulus check using my 2018 tax return, but I'm 99% sure I'm going to have to give that money back when I file my 2020 taxes, because the way they set this stimulus check up is basically as a credit towards your 2020 taxes owed. So if I owe $10,000 in taxes in 2020, they're giving me, in my case, $3,400 as a stimulus check, offsetting that $10,000. Well, now I get the check and then I go file my 2020 taxes and they go, well, Kevin, you owe, let's see, $10,000. We already paid you $3,400. Oh, wait a minute, you don't actually qualify for that $3,400. Now you got to pay us that money back. That's my guess as to how they're going to catch this, although no guarantees. You might be able to keep the money. I have no idea. I'm just assuming I'm going to have to give the money back. This is exactly what's going to happen as well if you had like a baby in 2020. My guess. And according to MarketWatch, if you're retired and you claim Social Security, do you still get the $1,200 stimulus check? And the answer is yes. You can see right here, the checks are based on all income, which means retirees, Social Security, and those who claim other benefits such as supplemental security income are eligible. And the government can use a beneficiary's Social Security statements to calculate the check amount if a person did not file taxes and send a check based on information on file. Obviously, in that case, if you've moved or you've changed banks or something like that, you'd probably want to check with the Social Security Administration to update your information ASAP, which honestly you should be doing anyway. So there it is, the fastest fastest way to get your check is to have your 2019 taxes filed. Make sure that your banking information is accurate. Make sure that you verify that the banking information you gave matches the people who are filing. So if you're a joint filer, you want to make sure it's a joint account you're giving. If your banking information is wrong, or you just want a check in the mail and your address is wrong, make sure you call the IRS. You can Google that number. I'll give it out here one more time. 800-829-1040, open 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. local standard time wherever it is you live. Unless you live in Alaska and Hawaii, then they go by California time. Now, if you've made too much money in 2020, then there's a good chance you're gonna have to give your stimulus money back if for whatever reason you originally qualified for it in 2018. But all this means is you need more tax write-offs, which means you might consider joining me in my real estate investing course, my property management course, my course on sales, and my course on the psychology of money. And even if you don't need more tax write-offs, you should be a part of these programs as well, folks. I really hope you join me. Thanks so much for watching the video, and until next time.